Good morning. Hi, this is the second day of the Hostos Student Leadership Academy Winter Workshop Series for 2023. This is an annual event that we sponsor each year where we invite members of our own community at Hostos, as well as members of the community from the City University of New York, from all the campuses, to participate in some leadership-based training with some extraordinary speakers. We had a great day yesterday with the likes of Brian Rashid and Gervais, who gave a great deal of information. I shared those videos this morning in an email to everybody who's on the mailing list. So you'll be able to review those videos if you were there, and if you weren't there, you'll actually have a chance to see them. But today I'm happy to introduce a good friend who I've been working with for quite some time. He's an extraordinary individual, and I want to give him a great shout out because he puts his money where his mouth is, or he puts his body where his mouth is, however you want to say that. When we've gone out to volunteer, Bert has always offered to come and volunteer with us, and on several of occasions now, he's been out there with us. I can remember being in Chinatown with him where he came out to volunteer with us to sing to some of the senior citizens. He is a Class A act. He's a genuine individual. He really looks out for everybody who he comes into contact with. I'm really proud to be associated with him. I think he's going to really impact you today. And so I'll turn this room over to you, Bert. We have today Bert Gervais.
All right, can everybody hear me? Just put a yes in the chat if you can hear me. Can you see me? Put a yes in the chat. Hold on, I'm just gonna I'm gonna move the camera a little bit back. I'm a little cut off. Just bear with me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, so everybody could hear me, but everybody could not see me. So just bear 1 second here. What about now? Everyone should be able to see me now. Is that everybody sees me? Okay. So let me hold on 1 second. All right, so I'm going to. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so happy that everybody's here today. Very quickly, before we start, can everyone just do me a favor? Just put in the chat who you are, your name, just kind of where you are in your Hostos journey. If you just want to put your year or what you're focusing on, just very quickly, I just want to understand who's in the room, and we're about to kick off something very special and very unique. Okay. All right, so we got Melanie Edwards, good morning. Stefan, good morning. Susan returning back to finish this time around. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Who else do we have in here? I see Gio. What's going on, Gio? Okay, so the second thing I want, let me see. Gio said, I'm here to make every day Friday. All right, so the second thing I want you to do, if you guys don't mind, is Rosini said, recently graduated from Hostos, soon to start at Lehman. Congratulations. I'll always see if there's anybody else. Canu says freshman at Hostos. Rosini says, thank you. All right. So what I want you to do right now in the chat, again, this is going to help me. We're going to go back to this later. I want everyone to do me a quick favor. Just put in the chat, what was the biggest thing you hope to get out of today? Let's see what we got here. Jason says, Fresh Friday vibes. Brian says, happy Tuesday. Last semester before I start radiologic technology program. Okay. Canu's a freshman at Hostos. Melanie said more knowledge and motivation on my journey. Okay. Fantastic. So what we're gonna do now is we're about to kick off the show. First of all, if everyone could do me a favor, give a round of applause for Jason Libfeld. Please put a clap emoji in the chat because this is somebody who, before I kick off and say who I am, you have to understand why this is important. Jason's been bringing me here since how long have I been speaking, Jason? Here,
Bart,
over
I think it's been a while, like probably 2010 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, it's 100% been it's been a while since we've been doing that. So this is really important to me, what we're about to share today, because there's a couple things that we've been able to kind of share on the journey together. So really quickly, guys, I want to get the energy going. I know that it is 10 a.m. Eastern time. You guys are giving up your time, and I saw some people are here for motivation. Some people here are for Friday vibes. Some people just want to know what's going on. They just want to shake to their system. The new year started. You started your gym membership, and my goal is to deliver on that. But before we start, I'm a big believer of how you start something has a large impact on how you finish something. So we're going to start with a quick icebreaker. Who here is ready for a quick icebreaker? If you're ready for a quick icebreaker, can I get an exclamation mark in the chat? And just to incentivize someone, Jason, if you can kind of keep the names of the winners, we're going to be giving out some virtual gift cards, some virtual Starbucks gift cards. So I see a lot of Ashley's excited. Stefan is excited. Melanie's excited. I love to see it. So here's how this is going to work. We're going to play a quick game called Would You Rather. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to have 7 seconds to type, would you rather based on what I'm saying. All right. So here's the first question. Would you rather have more time or money? Okay, so Stefan was the fastest person. They said more time. Melanie's saying money. Montserrat is saying money. Sheridan is saying more time. So it's a little bit of a mix between time and money right now. Okay, cool. So it looks like I think I got a little bit mixed. That's good. That means we're getting a lot of engagement. All right. Here's the next question. Would you rather lose your phone or your wallet? Go. Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay, Canu's saying phone. Montserrat is saying phone. Zaire is saying phone. Ashley's saying wallet. Okay. Gio, why do you say wallet, man? Talk to me. Someone who said wallet, I want to know why you chose wallet over your phone.
I said wallet because I could get new cards. Like I could get a new license, but if I lose my phone, it's a wrap. I can't access my money. I can't access. I don't have a phone to call anybody to get a new card, so it's over if I don't have my phone. But if I have my wallet, I could get by.
Got it. Okay. I can hear that. I can definitely hear that. Let me ask the next question. Would you rather have a personal chef or a driver? Gio said driver. Melanie said driver. Rossini says chef. Zaire says driver for sure. Zaire, would you mind just telling us why you chose that? You seem very confident in that answer.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yes, because if I have a driver, I have so much more time of my life back because I could sit, I could do work, I could take meetings, I could relax. I could just do so much more out of a day if I don't have to drive anywhere where I have to, be physically like attentive. Like if I'm on a train, I can get stuff done. But if I'm driving, it's just frustrating sometimes, especially if I'm busy.
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. All right, Zaire's over here. Yeah, trying to take over the. I love it. I'm gonna give you guys the next one. All right, you guys ready for the next one? All right. So the next one is: would you rather have Christmas 4 times a year or Valentine's Day doesn't exist? So put in Christmas or Valentine's Day. Gio says Valentine's Day not exist. How many people are making this decision based on how expensive it is? Who's here's counting pockets as they're making this decision? Anybody?
I definitely was trying to count pockets, but I still decided Christmas.
Got it. Okay, okay, I love it. I love it. Let me see. So, who else said Christmas? Maria said Christmas. Okay, cool. Someone, Maria, why'd you say Christmas? I want to see if anybody feels strongly about that. Zaire said, if you're special to me, you know daily. Okay. Talk that game, man. I love that. Someone want to hop on and explain why did they say Christmas 4 times a year?
I'll take a crack at it. I
Yeah.
see Christmas 4 times a year just based on the fact that it's just like a really family-oriented time, and you get to see people that you don't get to see throughout the year. So it's really special to me. So it's pretty cool to have Christmas probably 4 times a year. I do believe the Valentine's Day exists. I'm a lover, so it definitely does
Yeah.
exist.
Definitely. I definitely hear that. Okay, cool. So I got one more question for you guys. Would you rather be a social media influencer with 1 million followers? So you're getting paid like that, but the only catch is you have to make content every single day. So option A, you're a social media influencer, 1 million followers, but you got to make content every day, or you have a really easy job, but you never make more than 60,000 a year. Wow, I'm seeing a lot of influencers. A lot of influencers. Okay. Easy job. Okay, someone tell me who chose influencer. Why did you choose influencer? Anybody can hop on. I'm just very curious. I'm having a little difficulty with the camera. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, I just want to hear from one person who chose influencer. Why did you choose influencer?
I chose influencer because you're gonna make daily content every day, which is exciting, and also reaching a fan base of 1 million people. So you giving out content every day. 1 million of people are watching you and learning from whatever content you're bringing out. So that's pretty interesting to me.
Got it. That's interesting. Someone who chose the easy job, kind of. I would love for someone to explain why they chose that why they chose that option.
I'm a private person and I'd rather have more time to spend with my kids and my family than making videos every day.
Got it. So it's like the money came with it and that was cool, but
Yeah.
the trade-off of sacrificing with family, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, can we get one more person? There's a method to my madness, by the way. One more person. Why did they choose the easy job over the influencer job?
I said that this is Zaire because just because you have 1 million followers doesn't mean you're making money off of that. There's a lot of people. Well, I don't know. I would say it looks like there's a lot of people who are doing a lot of dope things with a lot of followers, but if you see people in real life, they're just like you and me. So, I don't know. I feel like followers don't always relate to cash flow.
You know what, Jason, I think we have our first winner. I love, just because you have followers, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're active. So you know what? Let's please write down Zair's name to win a prize. Okay, cool. So thanks for playing that game. Here's the reason I did that with all of you guys. What you guys just learned in making that choice, you had to delete one option to make room for the other one. I'm going to get into why that's important in a second. I know it's New Year's, right? How many people put an exclamation mark in the chat if you either had a New Year's resolution or you heard someone talk about a New Year's resolution? Just put that in the chat. Okay, so a couple people have, a couple people heard. Thanks for bearing with me. I had a little bit of cough. So here's the thing. I'm going to tell you guys a dirty little secret, right? And I'm going to get into my story and why this all makes sense. So here's the really, really interesting about the thing. Everybody talks about New Year's resolutions as this idea about adding something new to the table. Nobody talks about what we have to delete to make room for the new. And we're going to get into that in a second. But the main kind of idea that I'm going to talk about today is going to lead into that. But before I share that, I want to tell you guys a little bit about who I am. So I'm just going to kind of go in here and all right, so I'm going to hit this. Hold on one second. All right. Bear with me once. I'm just having a little tech issue, but just bear with me 1 second. All right, cool. So let me know if you guys see. You guys see the screen? It says "Would you rather" game. Is that what you guys are seeing? Is that what you guys are seeing? Hello?
Yeah, we see it.
All right, cool. Yeah. So, real quick about. I think it's skipping a few slides. All right, so real quick about me. So, my name is Bert G. Just so you understand, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, just because I think a lot of people can come on here and talk about how smart they are, all their accolades, but I really don't think people care how much you know until they know how much you care. So that is baby me on the left side of the picture. That's ratchet me in the middle on the right as a teenager. I was born in Haiti, born in a small village. We had no public internet. I had bronchitis. I had scoliosis. If you guys know what that is, it's basically when your spine isn't aligned the way it's supposed to be. I had asthma. I came here. I didn't know the language, and I really came to America, and it was just really a crapshoot if I would be successful. So keep that in mind when you hear different parts of my story. Does anyone recognize the person that's in the third, that box on the left? It's me and another person, another guy. Does anyone recognize that person?
Is that J. Cole?
No, I'll tell him that you think that it's J. Cole. He'll love that. Anybody recognize Jason?
That's not Kim Kardashian's brother.
What? I gotta write these down. Jason, are we recording this? Because this is that's hilarious. Okay, so someone said J. Cole, someone said Kim Kardashian's brother. No, it's not. It's actually he's spoken here for about 15 years. His name is Arel Moody. He's a Disney show host and a motivational speaker. Great guy. You probably will interact with me. I'm with another Hostos student now. The picture, it's just showing a little bit of my history, and this is who I am now. But I also want to let you know why this topic matters to me so much. So that's my niece Emily. She's 4 years old. Everybody put hi Emily in the chat. Hi Emily. Emily's adorable. She's a little bit of a diva, but she's honestly one of the people that inspires me the most. Her creativity, I just get emotional thinking about Emily. It's just I'm very connected to my niece, and that's Ethan, who's now 1 year old. Ethan is my dude. There's no other way to put it. Ethan is he's just awesome. So I share that because everything that I'm saying today is stuff that I honestly wish I could have told my younger self. So, real quick, what I'm going to do right now is give you the breakdown of how today is going to work. I'm going to tell you how I became this guy from a small village in Haiti, who became somebody who, if I can pull it up, hold on a second. I guess I thought it was in there. No problem. Somebody who was able to travel the country, write a book, be able to perform music across the world. And I'm going to share that with you. But first, I want to talk about something that is going to get in the way of what we're trying to achieve. So today's idea is every day is Friday, and getting to that point where every day feels like Friday to unleash your student leadership every day. Let me ask you guys this. How many people here in the chat like Mondays? Put me if you do. Okay. I got some me's, some not me's. How many people have heard in the chat conversations about people around you who don't like Mondays? Oh no, not another Monday. I got to go back to this. I got to go back to that. Have you guys heard that? Rossini says yes. Zaire says yes. Another question. How many of y'all have heard people who love Fridays? Oh my gosh, end of the week. I get to finally be me. Melanie says fresh start, new beginnings. Does anybody know somebody who lives for the weekends? Zaire says I hear that a lot. So that's a common misconception we had. What if I told you that you can make every day feel like a Friday? Every day could feel like a Friday. You as a student leader could wake up every day feeling like a Friday, filled with what you love, feeling like you're being who you were meant to be. Would you guys be interested in that? Zaire said, put an exclamation mark in the chat. Ashley says yes. Zaire says yes. Kanu says yes. So we're going to show you how to get to that. So to get to every day feeling like Friday as a student leader, you have to delete the right thing and repeat the right thing. Everyone put that in the chat one time. Delete the right thing, repeat the right thing. And I'm about to jump into a spoken word that explains to you. And the way this is going to break down is every section of my presentation, I'm a hip hop educator. There's going to be some type of performance. Y'all didn't know y'all was getting performances, whether it's recorded or I'm performing it live. I'm kind of managing it because of my throat situation. And then we're going to break it down. So I'm going to play the first one. Hold on. I self-sabotage. I can't even deny. I feed my problems and keep them alive. Parts of my past that I thought I had buried emerge in my dreams. Those dreams are disturbing. For once in my life, I'm afraid to be shackled by chains of depression and nooses and fear. Toxic emotions. I thought I was golden, then I turned around and the goose wasn't there. Live for today or just live in the past, where pieces are broken and I'm stepping on glass. The glass is half empty. My ghosts are offended. The baker's not baking. The bank isn't lending. The smiles I was faking, my pain wasn't trending. Start at the ending. I hate the beginning. The end is the start, and the start's an illusion. And life is a circle. I'm always in movement. Work in progress. So really quickly, can somebody tell me, thank you so much. Can someone tell me, what do you think of when you hear work in progress? What does that make you think of? Stephanie says me. Okay. What is it about work? What is about that word work in progress that makes you think that way, Stephanie?
Um, just because I think very recently like that your spoken word definitely did resonate with me a lot, first and foremost, and you spoke a lot about the past in it, and I'm realizing as I get older that I'm still a work in progress. I'm still being refined through my experiences, through the past, through what I go through on a daily. So that's why I kind of thought about that when you said work in progress.
Got it. So yeah, you're saying it's that connection to the past. Sometimes you're judging yourself by the past versions of yourself. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, when you guys hear work in progress, um, let's talk about some of this other stuff that I mentioned in the poem, right? When I said that toxic emotions, I thought I was golden, and I turn around and the goose wasn't there. Has anyone ever been in a situation where they felt like things were finally gonna go right for them, and then it didn't, and they failed again? Has anyone ever experienced that? I'm gonna
Yeah.
share. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So basically, I started going to Hostos right after high school in 2015. I was always working like a part-time job, but I made the mistake of listening to the coach I had at the time in my high school, where he was like, "Listen, if you don't go to college now, then you're never gonna want to go." Me personally, I knew I was ready. I knew I wasn't ready. I'm sorry, so I should have just followed my instincts. But I was like, at that given moment, honestly, this was obviously like a while back, but I was like, I'm tired of school. I just want to work, save some money, maybe leave the country, like, just try something new. And I should never took his advice. I'm not saying that it was bad, but it wasn't good for me. So from that moment on, I did hit a couple of bumps on the road until I decided, like, okay, you know what? Just pause and take a break and figure out what is works for you instead of listening to other people because they did the same thing. But that doesn't mean, you know, that's gonna be your same case basically. So I took yes, I'm not gonna say very long time off, but I took the time necessary to actually get myself together and the things that I needed to do for me. And then I was like, okay, you know what, I'm ready now. So it wasn't until things started falling into place where I was able to see like the fact that I actually grew. I was more mature. I didn't take things for granted. So that's just my testimony.
Definitely, definitely. I think what I loved about what you said was you talked about the importance of taking time for yourself and not. Did you feel pressure when made that decision? Like, okay, everyone else has a timeline for me, but I'm taking time for me. Did you feel that pressure, or like did you eventually
Um,
feel like
yes,
relief?
because it is, I'm sorry, yes, it is unfortunate that I always say it depends on where you how you grew up, what family you come from, your background. So me personally and my family, I'm the first one to just, complete my degree. My mom got pregnant when she was young, the whole nine, and she always was like, finish school, finish school. You can be beautiful, you can be pretty, you can know how to cook, but at the end of the day, if you're not a woman who's educated, you can get married, but at the end of the day, it's like, you want to be able to take yourself serious. So at the same time, I was like, excuse my language, but I was like, oh my God, I was like, damn, all these other, people out here, like obviously not everybody goes to school, but they make it. So it's like, why do I have to do it, God? Like, why can you just allow me to win the lottery or allow other things to fall in my lap? And why cannot me like a millionaire husband? Like, I was just coming up with all these other stuff in my head, but it was at the end of the day, especially I feel like spiritually, me personally, that I found my own connection. So I had to really sit down and talk to God and ask him, like, okay, lead the way because I felt like, first of all, I was doing too much. And I was trying to do everything by myself. And I'm like, okay, you know what? It's not working. So after a while, I became mentally tired. And I noticed that a lot of people, like even me personally being from the Bronx and going into like places like Harlem and stuff like that, I didn't realize that sometimes a lot of those people, of course, yes, everybody does have family, but some of them were like people who were like supervisors and stuff like that. Like had big offices and they probably like lost a wife or a kid and then they fell into drugs and all that other stuff. So being strong minded was also another like big thing. And it was like as drained as I was, it was always kind of like you have to keep going, you have to keep going. But I feel like that's
Right.
also a stigma as well. So it's definitely like just take care of yourself first. And I see well this one particular job just to stop, I had like the owner of the company was an African guy. And the supervisor that I had at the time, she was a Muslim lady, very nice. So it was two of us at the time working alone. And one thing he said to her at one given moment, she was busy in the middle of something, and he came in with somebody else. So he kept calling her, and she told him, kindly, she was like, hey, I'm doing something right now. When I finish, I'll just speak to you. So he was like, when I call you, you come. And from that moment on, I was like, excuse my language again, I was like, hell no. I could work for somebody else or whatever, but I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect me. So I was like, yeah, you need time to yourself because there's all these other things going on in the world, like kids shooting schools for getting bullied and people going into their work and workplaces for like people talking behind their backs. It's so crazy that it's like, you just feel like the world is going on like that. So,
No, absolutely, absolutely. I think you really just illustrated the importance of why it's important to take time for yourself and just you know taking a step back, even though you were in a very stressful situation. So I want to applaud you for that. I think that's definitely awesome.
thank you.
So what I want to do now is I want to tell you a little bit about my story of being a work in progress, right? So my whole goal, my whole life, and Gio will tell you this, Jason will tell you that, is to be able to express myself as an artist. I felt for so long I was living for approval. And I'm just gonna walk you through my story. And you guys mind if I'm a little vulnerable, a little open with y'all? You guys are cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit more of my story. Um, so as I mentioned before, I'm a I'm a co-founder of Genius Potential Inc. We're the first company to infuse entertainment into world-class education to make learning easier to digest and engage more students. I was a Boys and Girls Club director. Shout out to any Boys and Girls kids in the crowd. I was a science teacher, hip hop and spoken word artist. I've done it pretty much all, but it was so hard to get there. That's actually not what I'm excited to talk to y'all about. What I really want to talk to you guys about is the journey. And so I'm gonna actually um, show you a happy moment and then a rock bottom moment. So this is a happy moment. Hold on. So this is me in 2019. And let me give you the context. So basically, I used to always want to rap, and my students would be like, "Yo, why don't you rap like for real? Why don't you drop an album?" And I'm gonna ask y'all this question. In 2012, I wrote and produced 15 songs. Can you guys put in the chat how many of those songs you think I actually put out in the real world? Gio said 1. Melanie said 15, very generous. Zaire, you're correct. Actually 0. I was so embarrassed, man. I had all these songs and I was the dude at the party and I hated being this guy. Like, yo, you gotta check out my music. I got these bars. I spit this verse for you. And they're like, oh, where can I hear it? Oh, I ain't put it out yet. Where can I hear it? I ain't record it yet. And it was something that was eating me aside. But I used to try to find joy to express in my classroom. So I'm gonna show you an example of like how I would start the journey, even though deep down inside I was super insecure about it. So this is me in my class with my students, trying to convince them to take study abroad seriously. I'm in my bag like the last 10 crack. scratch dummy C. I got it with the flat tummy T. Every time I'm walking into class, I want to sleep. Remember when you used to only need to have 1 degree? Now you need 1 to 3. That's no guarantee. You might still get a job at a bad company. I got a flyer for a frat party. You can wear pajamas. Whoa. You see the problem is, I'm not done. Yo, look. Yo, you see the problem is you always want to study abroad, but if you study hard, you could even study abroad. Somewhere in Ghana taking classes and itself to see your mama, but it's not because you're busy chasing Donnie. All right, so Zahir said, "Wait, I'm done. Not done." So that was kind of a high moment. But
Did
if
it
anybody,
go viral? I'm sorry.
you said what?
No, I said did it go viral? Like you should put it on TikTok or something.
I appreciate that. You know what? I will do that. I actually found this video recently, and I just added the subtitles maybe like a day or two ago. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will. Oh, whoever put in the fire emojis, I think that's Zaire. Thank you. I appreciate you. That's love. But as anybody who knows just how life goes, sometimes you have your best moment before your worst moment. So I was doing that, and I had a student come up to me one time. They were like, "Yo, if you so popping, why you not outside?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "You heard what I said? If you so popping, why you not outside?" And she was like, "Why you don't got that many followers? Why I got more followers than you?" Like a kid said that to me. And you're not supposed to take it seriously when you're like, kind of the teacher figure. There's just everything's about clout when it's younger people. But I promise you, I took it so personal. And students, is anybody here in the chat been a teacher before? Just put a exclamation in the chat if you have. I'm just curious. Appreciate that, Susan. Appreciate you. Yeah, if you've been yeah, I definitely appreciate y'all if y'all been in that situation before. But yeah, so I definitely can appreciate you guys for being in that situation. What I will tell you is you guys know that students sometimes can say hurtful things, but hurt people. And normally I don't take it seriously. This one hurt me deep. And what happened next was really, really a rock bottom. And I'm gonna walk you through. I'm gonna try not to get too emotional, but if it's okay, I just want to just keep it real with y'all. Is that all right? So after that happened, I really was doubting myself. I was second guessing myself. I was like at home, just like hard to wake up. I started letting myself go. And I'm gonna show you what rock bottom looks like for me. So what rock bottom looks like for me is, if anybody's ever been depressed. So I happen to live with ADHD. I happen to also live with being bipolar. And so if anyone knows anything about bipolar, you have extreme highs, but then you have extremely low. Type it in the chat. What's the opposite of extreme highs? You have extremely low. You have extremely what? Yeah, Zaire, low lows, exactly. And so I would hit these depressive binges and I just wouldn't get up until I absolutely had to, right before my alarm. On the weekends, I'd get up like late in the afternoon. And when I get really depressed, I stop doing two things. I stop looking in the mirror, and I stopped cleaning my room. That's why there's a whole book, actually, I think it's called Make Your Bed. Talks about like little psychological tricks to like overcome depression. And I've read those books and implemented those tips. You'd be surprised. And that's why we're going to talk about why it's important to delete and repeat certain things. And we're going to do that exercise because you got to delete the right thing and repeat the right thing. One thing that I was not repeating was cleaning my bed, maintaining my space. And I've heard this quote before, but it became so true. A cluttered mind, a cluttered life. And I get it. Sometimes, we're working a bunch of jobs, we have to provide, and sometimes it's hard to maintain kind of the neatness and stuff like that. But if it gets too overwhelming, you guys can let me know if you've experienced it. it can be tough to come home to that, and it can actually make the bad mood. It can make the bad mood worse. So that was definitely one of my low lows. And in terms of the worst part about depression, I'll be honest with y'all, is you feel like you can't get out of it. You feel like there's no more time in the day. Do me a favor, put a me in the chat if you feel like you just don't have more time in the day. Does anybody feel like that? If you feel like you don't have more time in the day, just put me in the chat. Gio says me. Montserrat says me. Okay. Does anybody disagree with that? Does anybody feel like you do have enough time in the day? Just
I
want to
feel like it all depends on what you do with your time. Like if you use it wisely, I don't even know about like I don't even want to say I don't think I'll be saying it right, but somebody I saw a video and they were like, well, if you work 8 hours a day and then you go home, it's like you're basically spending more time at work. But I've known people that like use their time phasing. You're like, where do you have the time to do it? They're like, I just get it done. So yeah.
Right. So you found time because it was important. I'm gonna show you a quick video that kind of challenges that notion, and I'm gonna discuss it with you. So my big thing is I'm always gonna use hip hop and pop culture. I'm a hip hop educator, so I'm gonna show you something that I found from somebody I follow, and I would love to know what you guys think about this. So let me just.
I have not been able to just get off my ass and do music.
So what are you doing instead?
I've been
hold on,
watching just Netflix.
I don't think it was sharing, my fault. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me, y'all. I have a new technology I'm using, so.
I have not been able to just get off my ass and do music.
So what are you doing instead?
I've been watching just Netflix.
There's a deeper reason, you know that, right?
It's
because you either don't really believe in your music or like
I'm trying to perfect it too much.
you are making up perfection. Perfection. You got your barrier.
Yeah.
You're just not confident.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like there's just a lot of bigger reasons to why you're
Right.
not doing it. Perfection's the disguise of insecurity.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Right? Like people are like, oh no, it's just not perfect. It's not ready yet. No. It means you're insecure.
Wow. Okay. So that was a lot to unpack. So he said perfection is a disguise. So let's break that down, right? So let's break that down. So in the video, why wasn't that dude's a rapper, music artist? It could be if you're writing a book, it could be writing a poem, it could be you in that situation, right? I want you to see it from the perspective of that student. When he asked the student, how come you're not spending time on your music? Like, where is your time actually going? What did he say? Tell me in the chat. What did he say? Where was he actually spending his time? Did you guys catch it?
He was on his thing watching Netflix.
Yeah, he's spending time on Netflix, right? Here's what's interesting about time. A lot of times we don't know where our time goes because we don't track where our time goes, right? So before you can delete stuff out of your life to add more stuff, you got to know what to delete. And I'm gonna do a quick experiment with you guys. You guys want to do a quick experiment with me? You guys want to do a quick experiment? Okay, cool. So this is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna share. I'm gonna put something on the screen right now. I want everybody to go into their phones. You can either go on the settings, on the screen time. If you can't do it right now because you're watching the Zoom on your phone, I think you can kind of like put it on hold and come back. You don't have to leave the Zoom. But if you can, just go into your phone. Tiffany said, I don't want to look at mine. I got you. Look at your screen time. and see how much time you spend on your screen. Usually if you go into screen time or battery, it'll tell you. Has anyone done this before? This type of exercise. Put an exclamation mark in the chat if you've ever like actually checked or seen when they give you the notification how much you look at your screen time. Gio says yes. Jason said nope.
My screen time was off, thank God.
Yeah, I recommend doing this as a serious practice because Zaire says yes. I started doing this, and then one time it was like, man, you were 6 hours of screen time. Now it actually tells you, it'll be like, well, you spent 2 hours of that was on social media, 3 hours you were Googling stuff for your business. Tiffany says I have a screen time. By the way, let me just make this clear. This is not a gotcha. I'm not judging anybody. I promise you, whatever your worst screen time thing is, when I'm depressed, I'm 10 times worse. I fall down a YouTube rabbit hole of the silliest stuff. I'll be like, that one actor from, the Spider-Man No Way Home movie. What other movies did they do? When did they start acting? Oh, they went to acting school? Oh, they sing too? They can play the drums? Put me if you've ever been in the rabbit hole before. You find one little video and they get you to click on another one, and another one is called doom scrolling. Just put me, type me in the chat. Right? And that's normal, and it happens to all of us. And sometimes it's actually okay. Sometimes if you just came off of like finals or, you just worked like 2 crazy shifts and you just need to turn your brain off, that's okay. Rosini says Prime Video. But what happens is when we don't track it, we don't realize that there's some time that we're kind of throwing away that we actually, if we deleted that time, we can actually use it to repeat something that we really care about. So I'm going to get into that. But first, we're getting into a new kind of topic of how we're going to break this down and understand why we don't repeat and make our lives feel like Friday. But first, I have a quick little song to... Let me know if you guys can hear the beat. Hold on 1 second. Appreciate y'all patience. I'm trying some new technology today. Yeah. Check. Look. Hold on. Bear with me, y'all. Tiffany said her daily average is 6 hours and 30 minutes. I appreciate you being honest, Tiffany. Jason, can we write down Tiffany's name for All right, let's get it. Look. Yeah. Check. Look. Look. Hostos Community College. Hold up. Hostos Community College. Let me talk to him. Look. I guess I gotta resort to sports and meditation. Insurance company just cut off my medication. Without the meds, it's getting harder to cope. I'm trying. I put my heart in this. They call it a joke. Deny him. Who said you gotta be an artist and broke was lying to all the street kids, so they sold to a pusher. Could've hopped on a song with Colin Butcher or wrote a book by growing up in American pressure cooker. Time to shine. Used to dabble time to time, but I use my 9 to 5 to fund my 5 to 9. I learned I couldn't sprint to the throne. I gotta jog first. When a post means with lions on them, better be a boss first. Too white for the blacks, too black for the whites. If you ain't been where I'm going, why would I ask for advice? They goofy. Confuse me when they acting polite. Man, I felt like a loser more than half of my life. Don't only spend cash to get fresh. trying to build something. Ask that, send them a text. $500,000 coming. That mindset, I had to adopt it. That's a Phil drumming. Solid posse, more coast than Ta-Nehisi, same ones. Used to doubt him, is waiting outside the lobby. Stunting for fame, we ain't wanting the fame. I put the Rosa Parks shirt in the front of the plane. Let's go. Appreciate y'all. So thank you. And I appreciate all the love. You gotta ask Jason. I was 1,000% afraid to do this in front of people. He's been seeing me doing this for 10 years, so you can, it's no cap. But I really want you to understand, like, everything I'm talking about, that, you know, whoever said you got to be an artist and broke was lying. That was all the stuff that I was afraid to delete. I kept saying to myself, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Zaire. I kept saying to myself, you know what, man, I don't have enough time. You know, I'm working this job. I don't have enough time. I'm taking these classes. I don't have enough time. I'm taking care of these people. But I kept running into people that were in school, in classes, taking care of people. And where I kept messing up is I have, again, ADHD. I was trying to do everything at one time. And what I want you to learn from my story, and we're going to apply it today in a real exercise, is it's not about doing everything at one time. What it's really about is finding the one or two things you need to delete and the one or two things you need to repeat consistently. That's why I say every day is Friday. A lot of leaders are just like, you know what? There's a leadership conference. I'm running for an election, or I'm gonna be a leader when the cameras are on. No, this is an everyday thing. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you. All right. So what I want to do now is let me get to back to where I was. Yeah, so what I want to talk about right now is what are the things that keep us from deleting the things that hold us back? How many of y'all know for 2023 there's something or habit or maybe toxic people that y'all need to let go? Just put me in the chat if you know that that's true about you. You already know. It's people out there. It's habits. It's something that I need to let go. If you know that that's true, put you up in the chat. Okay. So a lot of people are with me on it, but so the question is, well, why don't we let go of it before we can add something? Because everyone, I think, you know, a lot of people are going to talk to you about the different things you can add, the goals you can set, My first step is going to be delete, because like I said, I wasn't able to share my gift with y'all until I let go of some things. So I had to let go of beating myself up. I had to let go of always being my biggest self-critic. Some of the things I had to repeat are, you know, I had to repeat positive affirmations. I started going to therapy. We're going to talk about that in a second. But I had to repeat making my bed. So I had to let go of things and repeat things. The one thing that I want you guys to share right now, like, what do you think would get in the way of someone letting go of the baggage they need to let go so they can add those habits to their life? Someone just put in a chat. What would be, Zaire said being less busy and more productive. Wow, that's fire.
That's genius.
I love that. Tiffany said lack of motivation would make it hard to let it go. Okay. Steph said being emotionally attached to it. Zaire said a disability. Giovanni said comfort. Zaire, can you tell me a little bit more about disability? What do you mean by letting go of a disability?
Well, just letting go of that being your crutch. So for example, you know, somebody, you know, has OCD or some type of anxiety disorder, and they let that, you know, not saying they're weak, but they let that overpower them and say, I can never do something because of this. So just really letting go of that and reshaping and reframing how you view like your ability because of your quote unquote diagnosis or whatever, you know.
Yeah, so letting go of, I think what you're saying is letting go of letting the disability define you. You know, I had a student um, who was slightly autistic, and her mom sent me a letter after I left the Boys and Girls Club, made me cry. And she said something to me. She said, "You know what? The reason why um, you meant so much to me as a teacher is because you always saw my ability and not my disability." You guys get that? And in a lot of ways, when I found out as an adult that I had ADHD. No one knew to diagnose that to me when I was younger. I found out as an adult about the bipolar, and I used to let that define me for a little bit, like something was wrong with me. And I agree with you. That's something I struggle with, and that's a real thing. But I think it's like with anything else, things don't have to define you. They can be part of your story. They can be part of your journey. But you get to choose what defines you. And if anything, all of the things that happen with bipolar, now I'm just like, you know what? Now I put repeats things in place to manage it. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, I'm kind of blessed to have it, because that's where the pain, that's where the music comes from. It really is. So a lot of the music comes from that. Um, Ashley says being too caught up in the past and not living for the future. Wow. That's a real one. Does anyone relate to that? Put an exclamation mark if you relate to Ashley. Got you. So I'm gonna share with you a couple things that would get in the way of deleting. And then we're gonna get into an activity about how we can, be able to repeat our own stuff. So I'm gonna share with you a couple things. Um, so let me just pull this up. Okay. All right. So here's the first one I'm gonna share with you. Anybody recognize any of these? What's in this picture? Apps, exactly. So I want you to think about when you're deleting habits, like the apps on your phone. And please, somebody be honest, because this is me all day. If you have apps on your phone that you have not used in 6 months, put me in the chat. I'm gonna type myself. I got apps I done downloaded, never used, years, right? And it takes up space on your phone, right? You ever see someone be like, "Oh man, this ever happened to you? You're trying to take a photo, but you run out of memory." That's been mad embarrassing to me when I had the iPhone with the low storage. Try to take a picture. It's a great moment. Yeah, girl, we're gonna get this photo. We're gonna do it by the light, by the candles. It's gonna be romantic. Now I gotta delete 3, 4 videos just before. You gotta find the big videos too to delete them before you can take the photo. Anybody ever had that happen? You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's a real thing. But why did it happen? I can't add something until I delete something. You know what I mean? I can't add something until I delete something. Y'all laughing? Like y'all that ain't happened to y'all? Come on. I'm not the only one. But yeah, so this is a real thing. So let's talk about one more thing that keeps us from deleting. And I'm a hip hop educator, so we're gonna go back to the bars. So this is a certain mindset. I don't know if anybody in this audience is a first generation student or first of anything. I came over from Haiti. There was not a lot of like roadmaps for us, and so I'm gonna play these bars. Let me know if you relate to this pressure and this mindset that this rapper is talking about right now. This is one of my favorite rappers, Big Sean. Let's.
My auntie passed while I was performing overseas. That's the price I pay on top of paying for everything. But
Oh, hold on, my phone. Let me transition it. Hold on one second.
my auntie passed while I was performing overseas. That's the price I pay on top of paying for everything. But when you the backbone of your family, they only stand as tall as you standing. Even when
Wow. So he said, when you the backbone of your family, they only stand as tall as you standing. Does anybody relate to that? Was anyone as a younger child given like an unreal amount of responsibility from like an older, is anyone's family like just really counting on them to it's almost like an extra level of pressure? Okay. We're gonna talk about that. So that's the thing called being parentified. And a lot of times when that happens, that could be one of the reasons we don't let go of things because we feel guilty for not being there for other people, but then we forget to be there for ourselves. So if anyone's feeling that, like write that down. That's going to be something that comes up in the next activity. Someone says, Tiffany said, I feel like that's on my brother since I'm the younger one. Yeah. So here's the next piece. But here's a question. Has anyone felt pressure from family to pursue a particular career? Anybody felt like growing up, they put pressure on me. I got to be this career. I got to do this thing. Sheridan says yes. What kind of do you think that can have an impact in terms of stress or if you wanted to do something different? Do you think that can impact you? Yeah. Sheridan said, yeah, for sure. I feel like I'm letting them down. Totally get that. Tiffany says, yes, especially on personal development. Wow. Okay. How, Tiffany, tell me more. How is it impacting personal development? You feel like it can slow you down because you're holding weight for everybody?
Yeah, I feel like if you always have someone in your ear telling you, oh, you have to be a physical therapist, you have to be a doctor, it
Right.
kind of shines away from what you really wanted to do. It can cause depression actually, and I feel like that's something that I kind of went through.
Right. So you just said something really interesting. You said that someone always telling you have to choose a certain path, it can lead to depression because what if you don't want to do that path? What if you feel stuck by that and you don't have an outlet? Am I hearing that right? Is that the challenge?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it also has to do with a lack of passion. If you want to do something, you kind of lose that passion for what you really want to do since you're focused on living someone else's life basically.
Right, living someone else's life. And do you feel like there's more pressure on first gen students when it comes to that expectation? Especially it's like, hey, you're the first to go to college. You're the only one who actually has a shot at being a physical therapist or XYZ. Do you feel like there's more pressure on first gen students when it comes to that parental pressure to choose a career?
I would say definitely just because at the end of the day we just want to make our family proud. So it's kind of just like you kind of want to go in their path. So it's definitely more pressure just trying to make everyone proud and making everyone else happy. But at the end of the day, like, are you happy? Am I happy?
Yeah, yeah. And that can be such a real thing too, because if that unhappiness goes unexpressed, it can lead to, mental health, to stress, to all types of things. So thank you so much, Tiffany. I appreciate you sharing, okay? So I'm gonna share sorry, my fault. I'm gonna share one more rap. Hold on one second, sorry. Thanks for your patience, guys.
when your feelings and your actions ain't matching and you carry everyone baggage. You just haven't found the right time to unpack it, and the schedule steady packed in, and you front line for the back end, and all the walls that you built up are the ones that you get trapped in. How you fall right back into your worst habits, man.
So this is the next one I'm gonna talk about. When you carry everyone's baggage and you haven't found the right time to unpack it, all the walls that you built up are the ones that you get trapped in. Can someone tell me what would happen if you're the person that's always carrying everyone else's weight, whether it's the weight of their expectations, the weight of their problems, but nobody's there to unload that weight for you? What do you guys think will happen? Someone just shout it out.
You crumble under it. It's
You crumble. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
I've been this way in the past. So speaking from experience, it's like the pressure of everybody's expectations. You're not giving your own voice life to breathe, so to speak. And it's almost like suffocating, and you crumble because of that. You crumble under the expectations, under carrying other people's burdens, because you're not focusing on your life. You're focusing on everybody else outside of yourself.
Right, right. You're focused on everybody else but you. And what happens when you try to please everybody else but yourself? Who ends up getting pleased in that situation? Does anybody win under that situation?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
No, can you repeat that last one?
When you try to please everybody else and meet everyone else's expectations, but you don't ever please yourself or meet your own expectations, is that a positive or a negative thing?
Oh no, that's definitely negative because then you start bringing your own stuff down. I don't think that makes sense. I think it's negative.
Yeah, because the thing is, when you try to make everybody happy except for you, everyone ends up pretty unhappy because you're resentful. So you're probably not doing, the most because you're resentful. They sense you're resentful. So they feel a way. So everyone kind of ends up unhappy at the end, has been my experience, right? So the purpose of this particular section was to understand what are the mindsets that keep us from deleting and letting go. Now we're going to talk about some things that we can repeat in a second, but I first wanted to kind of go over what are the things that keep us from letting go. But first, I'm just going to share this one kind of quick snippet from this interview about some healthy outlets, and I want to get y'all feedback on it. Let me
go once a week too. And that's the beauty of therapy as well, right? It teaches you don't have to be perfect.
Exactly.
What made you decide to go?
I was crying over my ex. I thought I just needed therapy. Also, shout out to my management company, Love Renaissance. Summer first got therapy. They got therapy for her as like a
Summer
label.
Walker?
Okay. That's my label mate or whatever you want to call it. But she got therapy first because she was going through a lot with the media. You know what I'm saying? So my management got her a therapist, and they thought it'd be a good idea if they got all the artist therapists. So
what's the name of that label?
Love Renaissance.
Everybody needs to sign to Love
LVRN,
Renaissance.
Yes, they got all the artist therapy. Even they have therapy, and we do group therapy. They do group therapy as like the label heads. So they're amazing.
Everybody need to sign to Love Renaissance.
Were you resistant to it at first?
Yeah. It's looked at as crazy. Like that's a stigma around it. Like, what do I need to go talk to somebody I don't know for? And when I could just talk to the homies or go smoke or do something like that. So it was a lot of resistance at first. I don't think we got a breakthrough to like maybe after the first 3 months.
Yeah, so let me pause there. I got a couple questions regarding that. So I guess my first one was, do you think that person? So first of all, that's the Breakfast Club. Anybody here? Anybody know who that host was? The person that was asking the questions. Put the name of the host of the Breakfast Club if you know who any of the hosts of the Breakfast Club are. Okay, Charlemagne. If anyone doesn't know what that show is basically it's one of the biggest shows in New York City on the radio, 105.1. But I love that they've been having these mental health conversations. Let me ask, do you guys think that the person he was interviewing, do you think that that person had a healthy view of therapy in the beginning? Like when he asked him at the end, like, was he hesitant at first? Was he excited at first, or was he hesitant? What do you guys think based on that interview? Hesitant, right? Um, and that's a good point because it was taboo in his community. But let me ask you this: he mentioned some alternatives at the end, and he said, where he grew up, instead of therapy, they would talk to the homies or smoke this, that, and the third. Have you guys ever experienced somebody using unhealthy ways and outlets to get out their stress? Have you guys experienced that? Just put an exclamation mark in the chat. You don't have to be specific, but um, I just bring that up because I think that a lot of times when it comes to deleting or dealing with things that we've need to let go to move forward, I think. Thank you, Zaire. Thank you, Tiffany. Zaire says, "Yo, I eat my feelings. Listen. I eat my feelings. I've done a bunch of stuff, that it wasn't productive way to get my emotions out. So this is a real thing. So, and I did definitely. I've been seeing a therapist for maybe 6 years now. A large part of my transformation dealt with therapy especially after finding out about the whole bipolar, and I think it's completely normal. It's not just for crisis; it's also for staying tuned up, and no different than we go to a gym, we can have mental. So I just wanted to share that been part of my experience. So, all right, cool. So now we are going to get into the exercise. So I'm going to put you guys in the breakout rooms. And inside of the breakout rooms, you guys are going to answer some questions. Actually, I don't think it makes sense to. There's 19. Yeah, we'll do breakout rooms. All right. We have 10, 14. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to put some questions in the chat. You guys are going to discuss with your groups the questions in the chat. So let me pull up the questions. And I'm gonna walk you guys through the activity first. So what I want you guys to do when you guys get in your group, I want you to identify what are 3 things that you could delete, old habits, things that didn't serve you last year, to help you get to the point where as a leader every day feels like Friday. And then what are 3 things you can repeat? 3 things you can repeat. And what I want you to do is, after you come up with the 3, circle your top 1 in each, and that's going to be your focus for the month. So let me share with you what that would look like. I'll give you one of mine. Hold on one second. Mia. Hold on, just having a quick little. I'm having a quick little. I'm just going to share my Canva. Hold on one second. Hold on, just having a quick little snafu, but I'm going to share my Canva so you guys can see my example. Where is it? Okay. Thanks for your delay, guys. Your understanding, guys. A little bit of challenge with this new software. So, all right, so I'm gonna share my screen. All right, so you guys should see my screen now. So basically, what I focused on was I had to delete trying to do stuff myself, delete doom scrolling, delete juggling too much. Oh, hold on. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. And the thing that I put on repeat, so this is my personal plan. I repeat planning my to-dos the night before, prioritizing first and act, because a lot of times with the ADHD brain, I was trying to do too many projects. That was a big thing that held me back with the album. And then building up other people who can do the job. So my biggest thing is like making sure, especially as a co-owner of a company, it's not just me doing everything. Like, if I owned a bakery, I wouldn't just, be the only one rolling the bread, and, I'd train other people to do it as well. So you guys are gonna get in your groups. You're gonna have about 10 minutes. Talk about 3 things that you guys would delete. Look at habits. If you got rid of these 3 apps in your brain, like your iPhone, you'd have a much better year. Then you would talk about 3 things you can put on repeat, things that you can do every day. It could be something as simple as make your bed. Everyone understand the assignment? All right, so I'm gonna put you guys in groups. All right. If anyone has any questions, feel free to put it in the All right, I'm just gonna assign automatically. All right, you guys are gonna be in the rooms. Just join the room. It'll put you in a room in about 60 seconds. Sorry. Guys, we had some really, really, really good shares. Everyone can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. We had some really, really good shares. So what I want to do now is I just want to have a few people. I know Melanie, Stephanie, some of you guys had great shares. Let's just have a few people kind of share, first, what was the thing you're deleting? And then from there, we'll go into, what is the thing that you're going to put on repeat? So who wants to go first?
I'll share.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what's something that you're deleting and what's something you're putting on repeat?
What I want to delete is smoking, eating less takeout. What else do I want to delete? I want to exercise more.
Okay.
And what I want to repeat is getting up early, praying, and making a gratitude list.
Love it. Love it. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do, okay?
Okay.
Circle the top one of those three. I'm not saying you can't do all three, but I want you to focus on one on each list first. So on the delete, just pick one. Don't overthink it. What was you said smoking, a couple other things. Just pick one of the three that you want to delete. What's your top one?
Eating less takeout.
Okay. All right, cool. So that's great. And maybe you put a little note for yourself. Maybe that means, buying some snacks at the grocery store. Because a lot of times I order takeout because I forgot to put stuff in my fridge or meal prep. And it's not even because sometimes I begin takeout and I don't even want takeout. It's just like, there's nothing around, right? It's just quick. So, maybe a little note like, okay, cool. So maybe I'll just get some stuff from the grocery and stuff like that. So that's good. And then, as far as repeat, what's one thing that you want to focus on?
Getting up early. Like, I noticed that when I get up early, I get more things done. And I actually feel better, just because I'm up early. I don't feel so groggy.
Got you. I love that. Now, just again, breaking it down, because trust me, I'm somebody, look, when I was depressed, my bipolar brain would do everything to keep me depressed. I had to break it down. Sometimes I'd be like, yo, if I take 3 steps to the bathroom and brush my teeth, that was a win that day. So what I would say is, if it's getting up early, before you go to sleep, are you on your phone? Are you reading? Are you prepping stuff? Do you have a lot going on before you go to sleep?
No, I'm on my phone.
No, that's cool. That's 99% of people, right? So I would say if you just literally, whatever time you normally go to sleep, if you could get rid of, it's called blue light, any blue light, just 15 minutes earlier. So if you normally are at sleep at midnight, let's say 11:30, you're like, no blue light. So that's no phone, that's no, at 11 you start dimming the light, and 11:30 it's just off. That's gonna actually let your brain relax quicker to get more sleep. So even if you don't make a radical change, that can make a huge impact. That's wonderful. So you know what? Congratulations. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Give her a clap emoji in the chat for sharing. Zaire said I spend mad money on bread. What was your name again, by the way? Who just shared? Was that Ashley?
Yes, Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate you. All right, who else? Let's get somebody else. Zaire, you want to share, or Tiffany? I spoke to a few of y'all in the. Who wants to share a delete? Rossini, are you open to sharing? Anybody else want to share a delete? Or even a repeat? What are we thinking?
You said a delete or a repeat?
Yeah, what's one thing you're deleting? What's one thing you're repeating? Just, I know you have 3 and 3, but just Or if you want, we can help you choose the top one, but just pick one in each category.
Well, I'll say repeating, going back to church. I like basically was born and raised in church, and that really helped me keep in tune with myself a lot. And it was just a different connection. So yeah, just going back and not like using excuses or saying I'm tired or have this to do. Like just knowing that if God's always been there for me, I gotta show up for Him too.
Got you. Love it. Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much. So you're going back to church, and then thank you, Susan. Did you want to share your D-Lead too?
I would say my daily is stop being toxic to my own self. I feel like I'm like my worst enemy. So that definitely has to stop. But yeah, that would be my daily.
Susan, you deserve the applause. That's something, you and me both. We all could benefit from that. benefit from that. Love it. Tiffany said I would like to repeat reading a few pages out of a novel at least once a week. Thank you, Tiffany. Anybody else? I love the momentum. I love the momentums. Susan said, I need a reading partner. Okay, look at all the stuff you guys are doing. Look at all this amazing stuff. When you realize, do you guys see that when you let go of stuff and create space, no different than the apps on your phone, you have room for more stuff? You guys realize that? That's how you get to the part where every day feels like Friday, right? All right, love it. Okay. Rosine says, my delete is fear. My repeat is trying things without overthinking of negative outcomes. Yeah, and I was at Gio's talk yesterday, and if you guys were there, he talked about trying new things for the first time. Melanie said, stop worrying about my past failures and something I beat myself up about. I love that. And if you guys are talking about self-affirmations, the next speaker, Roberta Tab, is awesome as that. She definitely has a wonderful personal story she's going to share with y'all. So this is really dope. So make sure you're there too. Wow, this is really, really dope. All right, so let me share. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Rosini. Thank you for everybody for sharing. I kind of want to share with you guys what is possible when you do some of these deletes. So I'm gonna pull something up for you guys. If you go to what is Bert's. Okay. Hold on 1 second. All right, so I'm gonna share with you guys what's possible. Studio mode. Okay, you guys see the screen? It's me sitting with somebody, right? All right, cool. So I want to share with you guys where I was in 2019. This is why I just want to give you guys a personal story, right? If you go to what is Bert? So in 2019, Jason, that was the last time I spoke at Hostos Live. And I kept talking about this music, man, this album, this thing that, the caged bird that wasn't singing, and it's just was eating me inside that I hadn't put it out. And I felt embarrassed because I had been coming for a few years saying that was my goal. I know last year I put a few songs on Apple Music, but I just want to show you what I said 2019, and I'll let you know where I'm at now. If you go to what is Bert's remove the lid goal, we're going to set these one in a second. My goal is spend 24 hours a week working on goals that are aligned with my purpose. So I call them happy hours, which means finishing or releasing my album, creating a hip hop STEM camp, and vlogging. So I want to share that with you because on the right, that's actually the album cover. I finally put out my album December 31st, 2022. I've been vlogging ever since. These are goals that I talked about. The third one I haven't achieved yet. It's a hip hop STEM camp. That's a bigger thing, but I focused on one at a time. And I have to say a big thank you to Jason for allowing me to grow in this community. A lot of times I felt like I wasn't worthy or deserving to be up here with some people talking about their accolades. And this really, really is a powerful moment for me. I'm going to share with you guys a quick little montage I made of kind of the journey.
Finally embraced my passion to do what I love full time.
Oh, one more thing. The person you need to be is already inside of you. You were here the whole time.
2023, it's really us. We don't do it for the cloud, it's really us. We really are. We gotta tear the city up. It's not a lot of happy at this happy hour. It's not a lot of happy at this happy hour. It's not a lot of happy at this happy hour. Just Hennessy, Patrona, and Amaretto Sour. I put the city on my back, so they rockin' with me. But I still put on a mask, the imposter in me. Scared to shoot my shot, but nobody told cool coach to pass. Why you so obsessed with time? It's not a Hublot. Relax. Just the inner voice that says you're too old to rap. Trying to get these commas up and focus on my wealth. Forgot to hit my mama up and checking on the health. No bad energy, remove that. I just hit my therapist on Zoom chat. I think and grow rich with these 7 habits. Rich dad want me not to buy expensive fabrics. I ain't listening, I was chasing status. Grateful that this morning that I woke up on the right side. But I know I made a couple bad choices off the moonshine. Bill's late, but it's A-OK. I went from Bel Air Lux back to J. Roger, then back to Bel Air like the reboot. Everything I lost, man, I promise I'm a recoup. Girl want carrots, can't afford pea soup. I'm so embarrassed, feel like rice paper she can see through. Here's the part I'm not revealing. I'd be a millionaire if I wasn't in my feelings. They say don't let the money transform ya. Kinda like a rope under the moonlight.
Thank you for letting me share that. That was emotional for me to watch. If you see, there's so many different pieces of me doing different things before you see me at the end getting the result. I had to delete so much from my life and repeat the things that made sense. Hold on, let me just make sure you guys can hear me. Yeah, like I said, I had to, delete so much of my life to repeat to have room. Delete the apps to have room to repeat the things that would allow every day to feel like Friday in my life. That included having people in my life like mentors like Jason, who should be a mentor to all of you, who's an incredible leader. And I'm just so thrilled to be able to say that I got to share my art with the world. I never thought that was possible. Thank you, Delroy. I'm gonna put the link to the album in the in the thing. I think it gives you a couple streams. If you guys want the download for free, just email me and I'll give you guys the code. I think there's a donate if you want, but that's not why I'm sharing it. But definitely, if you can stream a few songs, email me. I'll put my email in the chat if you want to stay in touch in that way and or get the code to download it. Thank you guys. What I want to do is a real quick. I have a quick survey, just so we can look at how we did today. If you guys could just be so kind as to do that survey. I'm going to tell you what that link is right now. I'm going to put the link in the chat. The link's going to be in the chat. Just put in the code 123. It's going to say, so that's the link. And the code is 123. And once you do the survey, it's a couple quick questions about what you thought. You'll get like a self-care guide that you guys can, the different parts of your life that you can rate how you're doing, and that's going to help you focus on what to delete and what to repeat. I found it to be very helpful. So this has really been an amazing experience. So please take a few minutes to do that survey. Let me just make sure that link is working. Yeah, click that link. Click I just put there. If everyone could just take 1 minute to do the survey, I'd really appreciate it. Everyone put one in the chat if they're able to access the survey. Are you guys able to access the survey? Just give me a one in the chat, exclamation, any some type of feedback. Okay, thank you, Tiffany. Zaire, are you able to access the survey? Rossini, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Looks like people are able to get the survey. Zaire, thank you, thank you. Adam, Brian, let me know if you're able to access the survey. Montserrat. Well, that's it for me, guys. Guys, I couldn't be more thankful and more grateful for this opportunity. I have a little bit of a cough, but made it through. Made it through. Jason, thank you so much. If you could please clap emojis for Jason. I'll be honest with you, I only downloaded these sounds so I can do this for Jason. I gotta give you the air horn, Jason. You get all of it.
Thank you, Bert. I want to say thank you, Bert. Also, you showed the video from when we last met, and there's some photos there from that time. I miss those occasions. It's not that I don't appreciate all of you for being here with us in this virtual environment. It's just that being together here, whether you were coming from Hostos or from a CUNY school to visit with us and to eat food and do Tai Chi and do like 3 or 4 workshops every day for 4 days and do this big dining etiquette at the end of the week, kind of miss all that. So you brought that back to my mind, but I'm super happy for you. I remember when you were talking about, kickstarting all of this other stuff that you wanted to do, especially your music. And so congratulations on your success with that and continued success with that. I'm proud to be associated with you. I'm always looking forward to hearing about the new successes that you're having. And we're always willing to bring you back to talk to our group. And I think you have an important message about like really sort of addressing things in your life and kind of understanding that, you can make the day be worthwhile for yourself. I think that's what the every day is a Friday thing is about. It's more about like every single day is valuable, and it's about how you choose to live that particular day. So even though yesterday was a Monday, right, I was nervous, I didn't get a lot of sleep. I came in here because I knew, we were going to have 2 great speakers. Today, nervous, didn't sleep very well last night. Get on the road, get in here this morning, and we got 2 great speakers today, and the same every day. And then when I come here every day to this job, to this office, to be able to work with people like all of you who are on here, and be able to spend some time with you, talk to you, help you to work towards your goals or your dreams, is inspiring. And so I try to make every day my Friday that way. And also, that delete, the stuff that doesn't belong. We all have that. We all have the stuff that we should like delete from our lives of like, okay, got to get rid of that now. And then, add the things that we want to put in the spaces that we make space for them. And I'm really good at deleting apps from my phone. I'm not really good at deleting everything that I have to delete from my life. What I'm always proud of is that I'm always willing to add another person to my community. So, you all of you who have been here today, all of you who have spent time with us this week and who will spend time with us this week, you're part of a very exclusive group. Meaning you get me for the rest of your life. So even if you're not a Hostos student, you're coming from one of the other colleges, I'll be your recommender just because you're here. You're giving some of your time to this program and the inspiration that we have and the aspirations that we have all together. And so I'll be that recommender for you if you need me. For most of the students who are here at Hostos, they know that I'm already that person. So I'll always be here for you. And I think Bert is also somebody who's good to bounce things off of. He's been really good about staying in touch with people over the years using social media. He's given you his email. He's given you access to some of his music. So it's great that if you can stay in touch with him and use him to bounce things off of him, because some of the folks, especially Bert and some of the people that you met over the last couple of days, are experts in areas that I'm just not. So it's always great if you can reach out to them and ask them questions and get their support and their guidance as you go on your journeys. And yeah, whether you're from Lehman or John Jay or City College or Hostos, it doesn't matter. You belong to me now. I'm going to support you all the way down the road. So you just ring my bell. We have some people here who have graduated from Hostos who are at different places. I've had a few walk in my office the last couple of days. And so I've been writing letters of recommendation for people since 2007. And I'm still writing some letters of recommendation for people who graduated in 2007. I'm good at it. I like to do it. I like to support you on your journeys to get to the places that you want to go. And then I love for you to come back and reflect. And then as you'll see later in the week, we have one of our alumni who's going to speak, and we've had a number of students from the CUNY programs who have graduated, who have spoken in our workshop series. And so if you ever decide that that's something that you want to do, please reach out. I'm more than willing to hire you and give you a job. Not a long-term job, but like a one-off job, like to do what kind of workshop like Bert did today. That being said, we've got Roberta this afternoon, a brand new person that Bert actually introduced me to. I'm excited. She was featured on People magazine. So that's a big highlight. And she's got a great talk that she's going to do with all of you later today. So I hope you'll be able to join us. As I mentioned, for each of the workshops, we're doing a little wheel of fortune kind of thing, and we're doing a random selection of folks for books at the end of the week that we're going to have you sign up for, and we'll mail them out to you at your addresses. So I did 10 yesterday, and after this workshop, based on the attendance here today, I'll do 5 more, and then this afternoon as well, 5 more. And so we'll continue to enhance your knowledge and your experience by sending you some great books by some of the folks who've been with us this week who have written them. So I hope you're excited about that. I'm excited about it. And if there's any questions for Bert or I before we sign off, please feel free. I see a lot of messages in the chat.
Thank you. I love the learning. I'm going to read some of them. Racine said, very inspirational, informative presentation, helps me focus on the main thing I need to work on myself. Learning is a platform for an efforts in justice. Melanie said, thank you, Brian and Bert, for excellent presentation and exercises. I learned about good habits I will continue to focus on. Man, I mean, this is filling my heart. I mean, it's great to be able to tell my story, but what's more important that you are applying this, using it right away, and being able to, share what you actually learned. So thank you so much. Thank you, Delroy Askins, for the love. Thank you, Tiffany, who said I learned that I need to change some small habits for big change. I mean, that's pretty much the nail in the coffin right there.
All right, folks. So I want to thank you all for being here. Have a good couple of minutes if you're going to join us back here at 1 o'clock. If you're not, if you're going to come back tomorrow, then that'd be great too. We look forward to seeing you. And Bert, thanks again so much. And again, the music's inspiring, and everything you do is really inspirational. So thank you for sharing all that with us today.
Thank you. I don't know if it's possible to save the chat, Jason. If you can, I'd love to be able to kind of go back and look at some of the comments.
I will save the chat for you, Bert.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll see you later. Have a great day.
Have a wonderful year. Take care, guys.
Bye.